So I don't know why this keeps happening, but it keeps... Hello. It keeps turning off my microphone for reasons, and I don't understand why that's happening. But, hello. Welcome back to Flash Zellow. Did I get it? No. Welcome back to Flash Zellow, Fiction Done Fast, a show where I take a bunch of writing prompts from my friends and turn them into one-page short stories for your entertainment. How is everybody doing? So you'll be in my pocket, but I'm... Hello, Scarlet Fury. How are the horses? It is alternating between snowing and raining here. And so the stray cats have not been terribly thrilled about it. Hey, Raven. How you doing? Oh. I need a haircut. No, wait, take that back. I would like a haircut. I haven't had hair like this since high school. So. What's up, guys? How's it going? Honestly, I'm not... I'm so used to just having Scarlet Fury at the start of the stream. I'm like... I literally just told you that you were in my pocket and the first thing you did was ask me a question. Well, yeah. You're like my little sister. What, you think I wasn't going to take that opportunity? Gosh. Hey, Atanchi. Wow, everybody's here. How's it going? Fun when it gets windy. Yeah. It's snowing at -1. Ooh. Sorry, I just like it's snowing at -1 and the next comment is chillin'. You're not the only one. In fact, I think Scarlet Fury would probably prefer to be less chillin'. Fun when it gets windy. Oh, is that about the hair? Because, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Gah, won't be over 32 for another week. Yeah, but Scarlet Fury, do you have 5 inches of winter coat? Do you? I don't want to know. Still pretty tame winter, plenty to shovel. It's been pretty mild here. So, I mean, that's good. I suppose. Like, no, I wish I did right now. The Abominable Scarlet Fury. All hair. No, like 2-3 days ago, I think my fiance and I went and had a picnic in the park because it was just really fucking nice out. So that shows how schizophrenic the weather is here. But we've gone over how my parents used to call me the fuzzy one. I thought we covered that because you were the... And Cousinette. Yeah, no, that one's definitely true. No, I thought the fuzzy one was because you climbed shit. And it was a reference to Nightcrawler. But you do have an insane amount of hair. One of these days, you should just cut it all off. Just because. No, this is my fiance. That's Cassie's plan. Her original plan was we were going to get married last October, but pandemic. And then we were going... her birthday is in like a month. It's her 30th birthday. And she was going to... So she wanted the long hair for the wedding in October, and then come March, she was going to shave it all off for her 30th birthday. She's going to... the full alien... Hey, if Raven Wrights is still here, we were talking about Alien yesterday. She was going to do the full Alien, the full Alien 3 shaved head. Boy, you do the poetry's right. No, not really. I had to do some poems back in college, some poetry back in college, and they were fine, but definitely not something that I felt either A, confident enough. Hey, no worries. Like, I never felt confident enough to do a lot of poetry, and then it also just... I guess I could say it didn't speak to me, you know? But yeah, no need to apologize. It's chill. Like, I had a college professor, my very first creative writing professor in college, took a day to bitch about how much he didn't like YA and fantasy and poetry. I was just like, dude, okay. So yeah, by the end of the week, I transferred to a different class. Trying to pin down a large group of homonyms. Each of two or more words having the same spelling or pronunciation but different meanings and origins. Okay, yeah, no, I had to check that. They travel in herds. I saw a TikTok that was God speaking to an angel. Where? So, the joke was God comes down and if God were French, and God comes down and says, you know, oh, did you feed my people? They're hungry. And the angel goes, what? He goes, I asked you to give them soft bread. And apparently the word for soft bread is very similar to the word for pandemic.
Pandémie, pandémie.
Yeah. Pandemie and pandemie. I got so many giggles out of that for like 5 to 10 minutes. I just kept watching it like, they really sold it. It was good. Don't judge me. Okay, you can judge me a little bit. What do you, are you working on poetry, or is it just some other project that you are looking for the homonyms for? Kind of, yeah. Alright. So why are sound frequencies in hertz and not hertz? Oh. Well. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the best you're gonna get out of me is a reference to a TikTok. I don't know much about homonyms, but the whole rabbit hole allows me to do research instead of writing. That was me today. So in my infinite wisdom, I decided to write a character who is transgender, and fortunately for me, I studied theater in college, so it's not my social circle. It has a lot of queer people and a lot of transgender and non-binary folk, and today was I reached out, and a lot of them were to my friends who are transgender, non-binary, and they were lovely enough to really sit down and talk with me, but I was a little emotionally, like, just kind of drained at the end of it. I was like, oh, you guys all go through, oh, I'm really tired now. And my heart goes out to all of you. And now I somehow have to take all of this and condense it down into a character that I can write. And hopefully do justice to everything they felt comfortable enough sharing with me, but damn. It was nice to get to hear, like, outside of, like, the some of the anxieties, it was nice to get to hear them talk about kind of some of those moments where it, like, started to really click and they started to feel like themselves. I was like, oh, that's the cherry that we needed on top of this. So yeah. Sort of knowing the minds of characters, it might be enough to tread lighter. Yeah, and like, it's an ensemble piece, so I knew going in that I wasn't gonna, this wasn't gonna be one of those stories where I live exclusively in this character's head, and it's still genre fiction because I don't know if you've noticed. Everything I write is that way. So it's a time travel story with monsters in it, but I really wanted to bring, characters. I remember, okay, it's the silliest thing to compare it to, but I remember Kevin Smith talking about Clerks back in the 90s and saying that, he didn't feel like he saw his friends represented on screen, so he made Clerks because he wanted to make a movie about the people in his life. And coming from a theater background, we're all, I mean, man, we're all dramatic. It's great for character work, but it was good. It was good, and it meant it was actually really touching that they all wanted to and felt comfortable enough talking to me about it. So, but yeah, no. Each of the characters, I talked to a different friend who's a writer who's popped in, Trilobitten, who's popped into the chat occasionally. I was talking to him about it, and he was just like, "No, you basically found a way to incorporate most like traumatizing and taboo subjects into this book," and I was like, I know it wasn't the plan." Not all, but like, I touch on a lot of different topics in a medium length book. So, alright. Well, I am going to read through the prompts we got and see if any jump out at me. Sound like a plan? Okay, I noticed, I don't know, I'm in a like touch the hair, rub the neck, fiddle, touch, rub the eyes. I'm in a, I don't know if is that a thing? Stimulus overload or something? I don't know. Don't mind me. This is actually a question I've wanted to ask people on stream, or people who stream more often, is do you ever have that like split second moment where you're like, you see yourself outside of yourself and you're like, I am a weirdo talking to a computer screen, but people can hear me and I'm doing all kinds of weird shit with my hands. And then you gotta like, at least for me, it's like, okay, gotta center back, gotta find that foundation. And sometimes I'm like, do I bring this up? Do I don't know if break the facade is the right term, but is it worth sharing that, like, because I did have one stream where I literally started having an anxiety attack while I was on stream, and I was like, oh no, what do I do? Like, how do I process this? Because I've been on stream and I've had anxiety attacks, but I've never done them at the same time. So I think I just... I'm a weirdo. It's really true, though. So I'm there. I'm home. Chill. But yeah, that was a rough day. And it was great as I went back the next day and looked at the stories I wrote during that anxiety attack, and I was like, yeah, they turned out fine. So, like, my brain was just like red flags and police sirens, But just kind of pushed on through it for that day, and it worked out fine. So, all right. So Tincture gave us 2 prompts. We've got noir detective style story about a character stuck in a Home Depot, and he was stuck in a house for a year with only a box of sociopathic cereal to keep him fed. How will he reason with the grains in time to not starve? Only time will tell in the next thrilling episode of The Serial Killer. Yeah, Raven, I don't actually know if you've been... Have you popped into my stream at the beginning when I just read through the prompts I have? I don't know if you've been around for this part. Not that it doesn't really matter that much, but I just think it's cool. My friends are so creative. So, yeah, so I just read through them out loud, and whatever one jumps out at me, then I'm like, I guess I'll write this one. So, Virmat89, the Angel of Death, has a serious sit-down with his inept younger cousin, Natural Selection. Swooby gave us, you're incredibly good at making decisions, but only in a very narrow field, and you're bad at the rest of the decisions. Alex B, prompts aren't in my wheelhouse, so they're not as likely to stick in my memory. Yeah. Honestly, this is the first time I've ever done prompts, or prompt work. Because, like, it just never interested me. I had my own ideas, but I wanted to do something interactive. I don't know if you've ever come across a channel on YouTube called Drawfee, but I think they were associated with, it might have been College Humor, but not important. Basically, they're illustrators and cartoonists who, as they put it, we take your dumb ideas and make even dumber drawings. And I had just discovered the channel about a month before I started my Twitch channel. Because for me, it was like, oh, I really like this kind of conversational quality they have of like, so-and-so gave us, a drawing prompt, and now we're going to figure out how to make it work. And I really, really like that. So I started reaching out to all the creative friends that I had who will put up with me being pestersome, which is actually a fair number of them. But I'm sure I'm still in Scarlet Fury's pocket while she's feeding her horses, but she can tell you, hey, Scarlet Fury, I'm in your pocket, Scarlet Fury. Tell everyone how annoying I can be. I entertain myself. Oh, man. It was actually lucky I got adopted into a large family because I was born to be a little brother. Just 100%. Okay. Alex B gave us... Lol, I like the challenge. What, of me being annoying? Wait, are you saying that you're actually putting effort into being more annoying than me? Because I have to say, you're definitely succeeding. Okay. Alex B gave us, no one is too ordinary for our agency. She also gave us, the copy machine broke down in the middle of printing, which made this the 3rd worst thing that has happened to me this morning. You dragged me into this hellhole, but you can't make me leave. And then Dune Harper gave us a couple. The blue wall is all he can look at. If looks at anything else, all he can see is his son. The challenge of trying to think of 5 prompts before the stream in 5 minutes. I don't think you ever gave me 5, but not in 5 minutes. I don't think. Did you? Maybe. White blood cells protect the body against germs through rap or poem battles. I mean, that's one of the other fun things about this, Raven, is some of the people have dropped multiple prompts, so I've actually got them tracked here. This was updated just yesterday when I was recovering from surgery and on pain meds. Well, you were in a perfect state to be creative. But you are still, actually you are tied, Scarlet Fury, for the most prompts. And then Dune Harper's, you're tied with Dune Harper, Vera Matt's at 21, and then on down the list. Oh no. But it's interesting when you get, what I was going to say to Raven was, when you get a bunch of prompts from, like, one person, there was a point where I started noticing, there's certain trends in what my friends are giving me. Viramat gives me these really in-depth, kind of hard to condense down into one-page prompts, whereas Scarlet Fury was giving me really like, hey, what if this thing happened prompts. And then, Dune Harper would throw me like, there were a fair number of, once he kind of, like this one, locals speak in whispers about the hills of the forest. They warn to never travel. Like, so he'd almost give me like the beginning of a story, like the first paragraphs of a story. So each one gave like different challenges, right? Because with some people like Alex Spees, you get these like big question marks of like, one of her other prompts was the floor tastes like ... And I was like, oh fuck, what does the floor taste like? I don't So a lot of the prompts will kind of give me information, and with hers, they mostly give me questions that I have to answer. I'm like, oh, I wanted you to give me answers and I would write it, and you're giving me questions and now I have to solve them and write it. So yeah, each one brings a different set of challenges, but they all have to be a page. So yeah, it's been wild. How far did I read? White blood cells protect the body against germs through rap or poem battles. Hades is real sick of dealing with all the deaths his brother Zeus causes. Romeo is into men, but is too socially anxious to tell Juliet. Pancho and Lefty try to rob a bank. Poorly. A local play of Hamlet, but both the lead and their understudy got in an accident, so an extra has to wing it. My name is Jonas, he repeated again and again because he couldn't get the goddamn song out of his head. Illinois Marine threw us a man suffering with extreme depression while being overjoyed. Scarlet Fury popped back in with a woman is at work when she notices an old landline emergency phone hanging on the wall. She's never really paid attention to it before, thinking it must no longer be connected, when it suddenly rings. Atanchi gave us, hey Atanchi. Two characters fall in love despite barely understanding each other, both bad at English between them, so they end up making their own language, mixing all three. Scarlet Fury also gave us a sphinx trying to come up with new riddles, because humans have memorized all of the answers to all of her old ones. And then I said, oh fuck, I'm bad at riddles. So I'm not good at poetry and I'm not good at riddles. And then Scarlet Fury said that's why she's used the same ones for over 2,000 years. And then Swoopy gave us, things were looking bleak after the botched cybernetic upgrade to your left hand, but you finally find your calling as a contender in the World Speed Knitting Championship. So yeah, no. The challenge of figuring out what to do with the crazy shit that my friends come up with is, I mean, it's a challenge and it's fun. So let's see. I'm feeling Scarlet. I hate to give Scarlet Fury the satisfaction, but you're about to go back into the lead. Wait, do you only count the ones you've written? Yeah, I only count the ones I've written. And there's at least one in there. It was the original, that Mecha Wolf prompt that I literally don't remember. It was just the chat fucking with me. But I didn't write down who said what, so I don't actually know how to attribute that one. God, Mecha Wolf was a weird one. I'm glad you liked it. I was dying inside. Because I think that was the first one that I really had to contend with, oh my god, this is stupid. And I've progressively gotten better at dealing with, like, looking at a prompt and just going, there's no literary merit to you can breathe dirt and this gets you laid, but somehow I still have to turn it into a story. Gosh. So part of the reason why this one jumped out at me, and I think I even referenced it the first time when you first gave me this prompt, we decided it would be Henry Cavill versus Jensen Ackles. Yeah, that sounds about right. I just don't... I don't remember, because it was like... It was... I think it was the one... Like, one of the only times that Dune Harper, Trilobitten, and Kythus were all in the chat at once, and they were actually riffing off of each other about this werewolf's idea. But I don't remember who said what. But I was gonna say, I don't know if anyone... I know I've talked to Scarlet Fury about it, but this arrived in the mail. It is the art book for the video game Control by Remedy. And this is potentially the best art book that I've ever seen. The interviews are intense. I only, it took my fiance and I about 40 minutes to skim through half of it, because we kept getting distracted by the interviews. You know, that's just never happened before. We're like, we're gonna look at the art, and then we would start reading something. We're like, holy shit, that's so cool. But what's it called? Control. I've completely forgotten what the stupid thing is called. Oh my god. The hotline. I think. Yes. So, this is definitely the image that came to mind when you first gave me the prompt. From the video game Control. So, since the art book just arrived today, and this was the prompt what came to mind when you first gave it to me, it's not hanging on the wall, but still. Ha! Vindication. Maybe next time you'll try a little bit harder. Don't actually do it. See, this is one of those. This is the moment. This is where it gets suddenly harder, and you go, okay. I have to think of what is gonna happen after the phone rings. See, I was trying to think about otherworldly phone calls in media that I'm familiar with, and my brain snapped back to Silent Hill 3 with the creepy happy birthday phone call. Might be a little too on the nose to go with that, but... So I'm gonna be honest. This doesn't happen terribly often, but I don't really know how to end this. Okay. So, I got something. Let's see. This one was weird. Like, honestly, normally, by the like midpoint, I'm almost. I think this is the only time that I can think of where I just got to the end and was like, I have no idea where I was going with this. Normally, I figure it out part way, but so let's see. I like how this was harder than your dirt prompt. Well, that's the thing. Is the dirt prompt was just silly. This isn't, you know. So like the dirt prompt was kind of one of those. Not I don't want to say throwaways, but like the idea of how much time are you going to spend. How much are you going to invest in this thing, right? So like, I talked a bit about this the other day. I think it might have just been the text messages back and forth, but like editing my book the last week has been really challenging because I've only been like editing a page, maybe 2 pages a day, and that's really slow for me. The reason for that is because these are the moments for the characters where they've, you know, the ensemble cast has had a fight, they've split up, and they're all kind of reacting to what happened. And so making sure that I get the emotional tonality right. So one, you got to decide what are these characters feeling. Then you got to figure out how do I communicate that with an audience. And I was saying earlier, like I spent a whole day just talking to people who were transgender or non-binary, specifically for the purpose of trying to, just for a character who's not even really going through anything that relates to that. I just wanted to make sure that I had my foundational knowledge in the right place, to write a chapter for a character who does have that kind of foundation. So the dirt problem. Now, I know you were just making a joke, and you probably weren't expecting me to go on a diatribe, but the dirt prompt was kind of this: how much time should I really spend trying to get the dirt prompt right? You know? Like, at the end of the day, if I took an hour and really committed to I'm going to get the dirt prompt best it could be, and people read and go, it's still a prompt about a guy who breathes dirt and, fucks. Whereas this one felt like it had more potential to do to do something different, I guess. Whether or not I pulled that off, so goes. Cheryl's fingers flew across the keyboard, and she took a kind of zen pleasure from the click-clack of the keys. Once she hit send on this email, she stretched in her seat, yawned, and resentfully stood up. She needed coffee. The motel lobby was the same as it ever was. The Seaview Motel was the same as it ever was. Except an old landline emergency phone was hanging on the wall. Cheryl stopped halfway to the coffee pot, a frown creeping across her brow. Had it always been there? She'd never noticed it before now. It was fire truck red, or it had been once upon a time. Age had dulled its shine until it was more the color of blood. Now, why did she go and think something like that? Cheryl put the frankly morbid thought out of her mind, and was just about to start walking again when the phone rang. She jumped, straight up jumped. A small gasp escaped her lips, and her hand clutched at her chest. She glanced around, but no one seemed to have noticed. The phone rang again, and again. Angry, or insistent. Angry. Cheryl stepped toward the phone, reached out a hand toward it. Its metal surface was cool to the touch, and her fingers wrapped around its smooth surface. She picked it up with a definitive click and held it to her ear. Before she could say her customary "Hello, Seaview Motel" greeting, she glanced down. The phone cord was disconnected. Hanging free, swinging back and forth in front of her eyes. The phone cord was disconnected, hanging free, swinging back and forth in front of her eyes. There was a crackle from the speaker. "Cheryl?" asked an unfamiliar man's voice. "Yes?" she asked, looking back over her shoulder. "Who is this?" "A copy of a copy of a copy. Happy birthday, Cheryl. You can hang up now." The line went dead. Cheryl hung up the receiver, breathing fast and shallow. They had found her. How'd I do? Who? Doctor Who, traditionally. What? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Doctor Who! This sounds more like the beginning of a novel and not just a flash fiction. In all fairness, I probably have done my fair share of those over this process where it's not really flash fiction, where just like so many of these stories really have, they really do feel like the beginning of a longer piece. Not all of them, but a fair amount of them. Unfortunately, I'm looking at these, and I'm just like, I don't remember what half of them are. I don't remember. I really don't remember what half these titles are. I feel like half of my problems you've said, I wish I had more space. In all fairness, this one, I didn't really want more space because I just didn't know what to do. And that's why I was like, well, I don't know what to do, so we'll end it on a cliffhanger. No, I'm looking at this, I'm going, I have no idea what half of these stories were actually about. Like, not a good first impression. I don't know what that story is, or he's doing his best, Deus Ex dumbass. I don't. Graveyard Date and Kill. Feline and Fancy Free. The Eggplant Catastrophe. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. A little on the nose, don't you think? Oh, no, I don't remember. Um, I mean, even a reasonable reaction. I don't remember that. I don't know what that one was. So, oh man. And those are just the ones from the last couple of months, or like the last month, going all the way back to the beginning. I actually, funnily enough, I remember these way better. I don't know if that's just because I spent more time on the titles or what. Okay, well, let's see what else we can shake out. Oh, I don't know. I'm tired. I'm always tired, but okay. See, here's the thing, Scarlet Fury. I feel like anytime I drop a story and you're just like, but what happens from there? That's now your prompt to go write your own story. No, you don't want to read that. Well, now I definitely want to read that. Okay. So, I'm just gonna say this here now. I don't like this one. It's bad. It's bad. Bad. Don't like it. Bad. It's very bad. Okay. Well, it's not bad as in poorly written. It just, this went to a weird place. I'm like, I don't like this, like. Anyways. Alright. Hold on to your butts. No one is too ordinary for our agency. Excuse me. No one is too ordinary for our agency, the man said, and Jessie couldn't help but be reminded of the opening of Stephen King's The Shining. A vicious little prick, if she recalled. If she had to listen to much more of this, she too would take an axe to everyone she could get her hands on. Fortunately, she didn't have a son, psychic or not, or a drinking problem. Yeah, so it says on the pamphlet, she said with a weak smile that the man, Peter, did not reciprocate. But why me? You don't think you're ordinary? Let's just say I've always been something of an outlying statistic, she said, looking around the room. It was trapped somewhere between off-white and tan, lit by harsh fluorescent light. I can see that, Peter said, looking at her resume. Troublesome grades, but incredibly high test scores. Inconsistent work history. Like I said, outlying statistic, Peter echoed with a plastic smile on his face. I know. Answer me just one question, Miss Joyce. Do you want to be? Do I want to be what? Ordinary, Peter said, the smile so wide now his perfect face and perfect teeth and perfect hair looked ready to split in half. The hairs on Jessie's arms and the back of her neck stood on end. Something about this was horribly wrong. She could feel it under her skin. I should go, she said, standing abruptly and making for the exit. Peter's hand slammed across the door, holding it closed. His smile never wavered. But Miss Joyce, you're not ordinary yet. Don't you want to be ordinary? Like me? His eyes began to glow a bright alien blue, and Jessie screamed. The last out-of-the-ordinary thing she'd ever do. Yeah, it went to a kind of a like The World's End or Stepford Wives or kind of Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of thing. Really wasn't expecting it to go in that direction, like, at all. Ugh. So, spooky, spooky, spooky. You like it? It was weird, man. That's a weird one. All right. Well, I think that turned out pretty pretty okay. Did Dune Harper send you a reading of yesterday's story? He did. It was good. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I noticed that it did not seem that he was going to destroy his voice the way that I did with my reading. In other words, coward. No, it was good though. Like, he treated it very like what word? Straight, like sincere. And when I read it, I was definitely just like, oh my god, I've written something so stupid. I have to just like mock it. And he like played it completely straight. I was like, oh, it's much nicer than I would have been. Like, where? Ah, oh, Jesus God, I have so many tabs. Okay, I got it. Let me navigate my tabs. Okay, so we got the story up on the screen, and then Dune Harper. This is Dune Harper. This was his prompt, and then this is him reading his prompt. And let's see if I think you guys should be able to get the audio. I think.
Flash Fiction number 141, Wood Pulley Liquid, Danger Noodle Eater. Danger Noodle was his code name, and he had one job to do: sneak around, save the world. No more Solid Snake, not after last time. He had to keep his composure. Real life wasn't all gravelly voices and cybernetic ninjas and badass clones, and Danger Noodle breathed in and out. This was a simple job: get in, get info, get out, and possibly save the world. No, stop it! Even as he slipped down corridor after corridor, keeping his eyes on the nearby guards, staying in the shadows, Danger Noodle could feel it. Solid Snake was with him, guiding his actions, keeping him undetected. Wait, a guard was coming this way! Damn. Danger Noodle looked back and forth for any way to hide. There was only one option. Danger Noodle pulled a cardboard box over his head and held his breath, waiting. The guard walked right past him. Success! Danger Noodle waited half a second longer before slipping out from under the cardboard box. Hello, Danger Noodle. I've been waiting for you. He spun in place. He recognized that voice instantly. Standing at the end of the hallway was a mysterious stranger, a man who had followed Danger Noodle on all his most recent infiltrations. Who are you? Reveal yourself, Danger Noodle demanded. Haven't you figured it out yet, Danger Noodle? The mysterious stranger pulled back his hood, revealing Danger Noodle's own face. I am your superior clone.
So, like, it's fine. It's fine. He did fine. He did the voice in the dialogue. And also, I love the fact that he and I kind of went to the same place for whoever this superior clone is. Because I tried to go more for the what's his name, ProZD, I think is his channel. He does a bunch of sketches. ProZD, yeah. And he does this this story or this series of sketches where the villain, I'm I'm trying to remember the voice. It's like, fuck, I can't even do it. But that's kind of the voice I was trying to do. It's very similar to the one Dune Harper did, except Dune Harper's was more up here, and like the voice I was trying to do was way down here. It's kind of in that resonance. Haven't you figured it out yet? Kind of thing. But we went with the same kind of, I don't know if intonation's the right word, but you're kind of on the same level. I just decided to destroy my vocal cords while doing it, and like we were talking about earlier, it's a question of investment. Was this story worth destroying his vocal cords? Probably not. So. Alright. Yes, it was. You could take it up with him. I'm perfectly satisfied. Or, here's a novel thought. Or, Scarlet Fury. It's now up to you to do the proper recording of this. Since Dune Harper apparently failed to live up to your standards, it's your turn. It's your turn. You gotta step up to the plate. I don't make the rules. I'm never trying to do Snake. I don't make the rules. You can do Meryl. In all fairness, I don't know any of these characters, so it's your chance. You gotta shine. Again, don't make the rules. Don't make the rules. You gotta follow the rules. I don't make them. But this is the rule that I just made up. But I don't make the rules. And you gotta do it. I believe in you. I just tired. Mood. You say that like it's gonna dissuade me. You say that as if I'm not gonna immediately go, yes, I need this even more in my life. I wanna hear prepubescent danger noodle. I wanna hear puberty noodle. No, wait, I don't wanna hear that. I definitely think I found the worst thing I've ever said. Cracked as and I started laughing. But that is much better. You know what? I'm not going to top anything after that. That's going to be the high note. I think we definitely need to wrap up the stream right there. What do you say? What do you say, partner? Cause yeah, nope. You can only go down from there. All right. I think we're gonna wrap things up there. I think we're gonna go through the outro and then probably raid over on Coffee Quills. Sound like a plan, everybody? And then, yeah. So, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to write. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, no heroes in 2021. We're better than that. Okay. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys next one. Bye.